Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. The version 3 of GYR's Swansalona tactic is here, and we went on to put this tactic to a test in the lower leagues on Football Manager. GYR has been known to make amazing tactics, and to me the Swansalona tactic is probably one of my favorite. But the recent test for this tactic was with some of the elite and mid-table teams, so for the first time I'm actually going to put this tactic to the test in the lower leagues and see how well it does, if it still goes on to replicate the same amazing results that we see. I tested this tactic out with 3 teams in the lower leagues: AFC Wimbledon, Tranmere Rovers and Bolton Wanderers, and looking at the way the league finished, I think this is League 1. AFC Wimbledon went on to absolutely smash the league with 101 points, and look at Tranmere Rovers in third. Tranmere Rovers. Both teams secured promotion from this division, and looking at the way the league is set up in the stats avenue, AFC Wimbledon went on to have the highest amount of points per game, 2.2, and then they scored the highest amount of goals as well with 98. Tranmere Rovers were in second with 86, and then the team that came third was Bradford City. They only had 68 goals. So basically AFC Wimbledon and Tranmere Rovers were scoring for fun. Possession wise, the tactic did go on to dominate possession, but you can see that Wimbledon and Tranmere had 55 and 57% possession on their own part, and Salford City and Notts County for some reason went on to have 63% average possession in a season of 46 games, which is outstanding. Really, I actually don't know what they were doing with the ball. Wimbledon, being the stronger team compared to Tranmere Rovers, they had the least conceded, or 1 point off the least conceded with 40. Forest Green and Morecambe actually had 39 least conceded, but you notice that Tranmere Rovers aren't here because they are not the best team in the league, but they did go on to score enough goals to take them, or to get them promoted from the division. Looking at where they finished in total, it's actually considered 61 goals. So you're going to be very, very hands-on when you're going to use this tactic with a weaker team. Wimbledon and Tranmere Rovers are somewhat weak teams in general, but just to be clear, look at where Tranmere Rovers finished when they conceded so many goals. Going over to League 1 with Bolton Wanderers, we can see that they got knocked out from the FA Cup by Everton, and then the Carabao Cup by Arsenal, both in the 4th round of those competitions. And then in League 1, to see how well they did, you can go into the competition stat here and see how well they did in the stats. Bolton actually went on to score the highest amount of goals with 90. Their points per game was something I didn't really like. Really, they had the highest team here with the highest points per game was 1.98, and that's Blackpool. I think they went on to win the league. Anyway, looking at the most shots, Bolton actually had the most amount of shots with 842, so it means that they were quite wasteful. They were creating chances, but they weren't putting so many away. They were only able to put score like 90 times, which isn't really, or which didn't get them very far. It should have been enough, but it didn't. The other teams actually went on to do well. Bolton then missed out on promotion. They came 6th, and then the other teams that qualified for the promotion places were Oxford, Charlton and Blackpool. Altogether, still a great tactic if you want to use a hands-on approach and actually go on to dominate games in Football Manager 2023. So we're going to look at the tactic. Remember, if you enjoy Football Manager content like this and you are open to getting updates of Football Manager OP tactics, Football Manager tactic test and Football Manager hints and tips, do well to subscribe to the channel. I do go on to share most of those hints, tips and tactics here on Dark Horse FM, and we're going to break down the tactic now. And if this is actually the first time I'm doing this, so it's going to be slow. If you do want to go on to recreate the tactic for yourself, you can follow along with the video now. Remember, you do have to subscribe to the channel, and we're going to start with the goalkeeper. And then looking at the mentality, I do like the positive mentality this year, but something strange here is the standard goalkeeper on defend. I really don't see that a lot in Football Manager 2023. I should start doing that more often. So there's a standard goalkeeper, and then he has been asked to take fewer risks and then to tackle harder. You do have 2 ball-playing defenders on defend duty, and they don't have any instructions attached to them. The wing backs are one on support and then one on attack. The wing back on the left hand side is on support duty. He has been asked to sit narrower. Then you have the wing back on attack duty, also asked to sit narrower. He is playing on the right hand side. Now in central midfield, there's an unconventional role selection and indeed player position in this sense. You have a Mezzala on support duty here on the left hand side, and he has been asked to dribble a lot more. And then you have a box-to-box midfielder only asked to play on support duty. Okay, that's the only instruction for the box-to-box midfielder. No instructions attached to him. Why I said unconventional is because usually on Football Manager 2023, what tends to work is the 2 defensive midfielders as opposed to 2 central midfielders. So I like that GYR actually went on the bold approach here to go on to select 2 central midfielders instead of 2 defensive midfielders. So I do like the way this tactic is set up. Looking at the front 4 in this tactic, you have the inside forward on attack duty on the left hand side, and he has been asked to sit narrower and then to tackle harder. You have the inverted winger on support duty, asked to shoot less often, sit narrower and then tackle harder. Your AP is the number 10 role, an advanced playmaker on attack, no instructions attached to him. And then you have an advanced forward on attack DT, asked to take more risk and to dribble more. The team instructions are my favorite part of any tactic breakdown and understanding any tactic and how it's set up and built on Football Manager. The general mentality for the Swansalona version 3 tactic is a positive mentality. In possession, the team is expected to play short passing and then play with a fairly wide width. The tempo, although, is much higher, so your team is not going to be too passive when they're in possession of the ball. They will try to get the ball forward and try to score as many goals as possible, and then they've also been asked to walk the ball into the box, so that kind of controls the high tempo a bit. And then the team is also instructed to run at defense when they are in possession, so there's going to be a lot of dribbling, as we could see from the stats view before, that the team had the most dribbles in the league. In transition, the team has been asked to counter press and to counter. The goalkeeper, although, has been instructed to distribute the ball to the fullbacks and to take short kicks while doing so. When out of possession, the team is expected to press the opposition high. This way you can go on to win the ball back early, and we do have the numbers up front with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players ahead. If you count the wing backs on support and the wing back on attack, that could be 7, so you can go on to win possession high up the field, try to force the opposition into making mistakes. And you can see that the trigger press is also set to much more often trigger press. Get stuck in is also selected for this tactic, so your team is expected to hassle the opposition until they actually let go of the ball, and then you can go on to counter them and try to create chances on the break. Now, most of the power tactics do have set piece instructions, so I'm going to go over the set piece and just take a sneak peek and see if there is any set piece instructions attached to this tactic. So looking at the first, we'll start with the corners, and yes, there is a near post corner instruction here. Near post on the right hand side and then on the left hand side. You can take a screenshot of this, or just pause and then take a screenshot, and then see how you can recreate the set piece routine for yourself. On the left hand side, this is the way the team is set up. Near post corners as well for the left hand side. Is there more than one? Okay, just the one set piece routine. In defend, I don't know how a lot of people set up their defensive corners, but I go on to set this for my team, so I'm going to check if there is also a setting here, and then there seems to be, because this doesn't look like the default. And then left and on the right hand side, this is the way the corner routine is set up defensively. If you've played with the Swansalona version 3 tactic on Football Manager 2023, do let me know in the comment section how the tactic worked out for you. I'll be back with more tactic tests like this on Football Manager. Do also subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, thanks for sticking around for this long. I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy your Football Manager.